It's time for a death battle. Here we have Taurus versus FN. I mean HK at FN and HK. We have three pistols to show off. We're going to compare them today. Cue the title. Welcome back, everybody. If you can't tell, I decided to start a new area in these video series of comparing different pistols to each other that I think are somewhat similar. They might not be the best comparisons due to some being striker fired, some hammer fired, but it's comparisons on what I think are good concealed carry pistols and the ones that I actually own. So I figured I would just show and say what I think on all of them. But we're going to go through three different ones. We have Taurus, we have FN, and we have HK. Three of the brands that I really, truly like. But we're going to go through this in a format. We're on a points-based system. I'm not going to do first, second, or thirds. I'm just going to give a point in each category for each firearm. There'll be several categories, which we'll go over in a moment. I'm probably going to put a graphic on the screen, too, just to kind of make things a little easier to read, and we'll see which one comes out on top. So without ado, we'll switch on over to the next view and get this review started. Alright, we're going to start off the first portion of this review by going through the packaging for all three firearms. As you can see, we have them displayed out. I'll move them further into focus as the review goes on. We have the HK P30 Sk, the Taurus G2c, and the FNS 9C. All of these are concealed carry firearms that I purchased for myself for the reasoning of concealed carry. I've carried this one for a while, I've carried this one for a while, and this has been my newest purchase, which I'm looking into carrying. So we will go through all of these and I'll give you my step-by-step on them. First off, let's start with the packaging. I'm going to start with, I'll just be blunt, probably the worst packaging out of all of them. Now, in terms of most firearms, Taurus packaging's not that bad. Cardboard box, very colorful, good-looking designs. You can see I claim the rebate on here. But all in all, I mean, it's not a bad box. Open it up. There's really not much to secure the firearm. They wrap it up in a piece of plastic. You get your book, you get your lock, you get your chamber flag. Kind of the bare minimum, or the, I'd say just the standard on Taurus. But we'll up it a bit and I'll show you HK's box next. This is the box that came with the HK P30. As you see, I beat it up a little bit because it's been in the closet. Nice box, nice and sturdy. You can hear me squeezing it, that air coming out. Good locks. When you open it up, on the inside you get nice cutout foam. Really nice foam, it's nice and firm. You see I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. Included, you'll get some goodies. We'll go over the goodies in a little bit too, some more. Lock, book, everything like that. and it looks like some egg packaging. That's what I call it. I'm sure it has a technical name. That's egg carton to me. But a good case. A big step up from most firearms cases. So that's very nice to keep your firearm protected when you're going to the range, storage, moving, whatever, or just taking up space in the closet. Moving on to the third packaging for the FNS 9C. Here you see FN gives you a really nice case. Has their display on there, nice and firm, squeezing it. Very large case. Two very big locks on it. And then you get, on the inside, this nice squishy material, fully molded for your pistol. Magazines, accessories, backstrap. A place to put your paperwork up top here, as I knock it all down. You see you get a little bit of everything there. All in all, a really good case. So when you stack these three cases against each other, the FN, the HK, and the Taurus, I'm going to give the points to the FN case. That is the best packaging out of all three. And very obviously so. Just so you can tell they actually put a fair amount of money into it. And a fair amount of time and research. A great case, and you don't have to worry about your firearm getting beat up, and especially if you knock it against the camera like I just did. Let me fix that. So that is 1 point for FN for the packaging. Alright, next up we're going to have overall value. With that, how I calculate that myself, in my own mind, is what you get with the firearm, as well as the firearm and everything all together. Again, we'll start with Taurus. You get the Taurus G2c. You get 2 magazines, 2 12-round magazines. And again, in the packaging, you get the cardboard box, you get the lock, some plastic, and a lock. Very standard, very simple. But you get the package and the pistol and some paperwork, essentially. So, yeah, pretty standard. Next up, with the HK, you get the HK P30sk, 2 magazines, which are 10 rounds apiece. The finger groove was not included, that was bought separately, so I'm not counting that. I had to purchase that myself. In the box, you're going to get the locks, everything like that, your paperwork up top. You get a mag loader, and you get all these different back straps. And not just back straps, they also give you side straps to change the side of the gun. That's a really good value. And they have the nice shape, and if you ever got the extended, you can actually take that out and have the extended mags in there. Really good value. Now onto the FN. With the FN, you get the FNS 9C, and you get 3 magazines. 12-rounder, another 12-rounder, and you get an extended 17-rounder with the grip extension on it. In the case, we'll look at it again. Not only do you get the case, your paperwork, books and stuff, but they do give you 1 extra back strap to go with it. And they give you a little magnet for swag, but I've already put that on my safe. So you get 1 back strap and 3 magazines. Obviously Taurus did not win this one. But versus the HK and the FN, it's nice to always have an extra magazine. Most companies only give you 2 mags. FN gives you 3 mags. But on the HK, you get the 2 mags, and you get all the different back straps, side straps, everything like that. But all in all, once you get your back straps and side straps situated, that's it. You're never going to use it again. With the FN, you'll always use all 3 magazines. So that's the mindset I'm going to use. I'm going to give the 1 point on this one to FN for including 3 magazines, which is something hardly any firearms companies do anymore. And the fact that it's an extended mag is just a nice touch. Good going on that one, FN. Alright, next up, we're going to go over the price. Where the last one was value, I was kind of thinking of the value of everything you get included, not counting the price of it. Now we're strictly going to go on price, and we're not going to look at everything included, just off your base price. You already know which one won on this count. But what I'm going to do is kind of go through each one and let you know kind of what the prices I see them at, prices I got them at, so on and so forth. Again, starting with the Taurus, you can get these for as little as $200. That's right, just look for it on sale somewhere. If you're paying $250 or more, you're paying too much. You can get these for $2. That's not bad at all. For the HK P30 Sk, you'll see these in stores for $600 or $700. You can get them down to $500. That's not a problem. It's about what I paid for it. That's what I expect to pay. A lot of stores expect you to pay $700, $800. No, that's a bit much. HK doesn't seem to hold their value over here near Tampa either. You buy something, or you buy an HK for $700, if you try to resell it, you're only going to get $4 or $5 for it. So expect to pay $4 or $5. For the FNS 9C, considering this one's the stainless model, you can't find them hardly anymore. I got this for about $500. You can get the blued version for a little bit less than that for $450. So that's not bad considering all you're getting. But again, we're going just on price here. So if that's the case, then in this case, Taurus easily takes this one by being less than half the price of the other two firearms. So that is awesome that Taurus got it under that price point. Okay, next up, we're going to go ergonomics. How these things feel in your hand. Now this is specifically for my hands. I have large hands. They are not tiny by any means. So this might be different for somebody with smaller hands or a female or something like that. But we're going to go through and give you my personal opinion. And again, this is my opinion, and you know what they say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So here we go. Start with the Taurus. As you can see, you have these nice thumb and finger grooves. You have this really nice texturing on here. It's kind of gravelly. All in all, not bad. So when you do grab it, your thumb rests right there. Your forefinger rests right up here. A good feel. Your hand goes underneath in the back, so there's no bite. Finger naturally rests on the trigger. All in all, a good feel. However you grip, some people like the teacup. I don't like that. Grip like this, thumb over, however you do it. I'm also doing this left-handed, so bear with me. It's a little weird for me. But all, I like it. Has a very good grip and a good feel. Next we have the HK. Now this one you can already see a little bit of a step up in area. You don't have the thumb grooves or the front part for your pointer finger, but you do have the side straps that you can replace. They come out, and the back strap. So I have the one with the nice bulge right here. So when I grab it, my hand fills it up. You see how the two finger grooves fit perfectly for my hand. And of course with the extended magazine here, let's just put it in and show you. There's no bullets in it. Fits perfectly. So as you can see, don't necessarily need that thumb spot. I can come up, disengage the safety easily. I always have a little problem re-engaging it, so I just use the other finger. But you'll see on the front here, you actually have a little bit of ridges on the front. So when you're gripping it, let me just do this right-handed, because I grip and I like to put a finger up front, I can fully feel that there. You have great ridges on the front here for whenever you need to rack the slide as well. All in all, this one is really nice. Plus with all the different back straps and side straps, you know you're getting a great value here. And then there's something about a paddle mag release. For me, it's natural and I like it. Again, my opinion, my 2 cents. Now on to the FNS 9C. You'll see you don't get the little finger grooves. You don't get the thumb grooves. You can switch out the back strap, and an FN has this interesting feeling kind of little ridges. Get real close there. You can see them. The little ridges that stick out. Now you think they would be uncomfortable, but when you grip the firearm, they're not uncomfortable at all. Put that extended mag in there. Look at that. That's a good feel. And with these ridges, that's not going anywhere. They don't dig in your hand. They're not uncomfortable. You have the slides just like the other two. Of course, this one and HK have the front serrations. Taurus does not. I did not mention that earlier, but now I did. You can easily release the mag. Let's put in just the finger extension. Nice, good feel. Doesn't pinch in the back. HK didn't either. I can easily get to the safety. I can easily engage it or disengage it. Very easy, very comfortable. So this one, very nice, very comfortable firearm as well. Now this is kind of a hard choice between them because they all are comfortable in my hands. I do love all three of these firearms, but you probably already know I'm giving this point to the HK P30sk. The finger grooves, the way it extends around the back here, just perfect. It feels so comfortable. If I could get a firearm with these ergonomics, with these little swells in it, and a little bit rougher of a coat like this, I know, dream gun, that would be perfect for me. Again, point to HK P30sk. Okay, next up on the list, we're going to be going over the two-strike capability. This doesn't matter for some people, but this does matter for me. Growing up with revolvers, it's kind of a given for me. I gotta have that. It's just comfortable, and I think it's a good feature to have in case you do have a dud in the chamber or some other problem like that. Again, we'll start with the Taurus. You'll see here. Charge it, striker fired, pull the trigger, boom. Let go, boom. You can see the parts moving in there. That has dual strike capabilities. That is great. That is something a lot of firearms that are double the price or more do not have for a $200 pistol, and it does have that. That's great. You don't have to rack the slide. Great job on that in Taurus. Next up, HK P30sk. Again, this is one of the spots where it might not be a little fair comparison because this is hammer fired. So of course, no matter what you do, it's gonna fire. And you can decock it. There's more utility in a hammer fired firearm, I think. Safety on, as you see the difference. So again, this is why I usually opt for hammer fired, but you do have to worry about that hammer getting caught on stuff. That's the only problem. Again, HK's P30 is nice. Then when we get to the FNS 9C, rack the slide. You see you get that really nice kind of dual face trigger. Let me focus here. There we go. Sorry about that. See how that works. Pull the trigger. Nothing. There is no second strike capabilities on here. You have to rack it every time. So that's something to consider on this one. So with that being said, I'm not too happy about that with this one. But the other two do have that feature. So, in the end, who would I end up giving this to? Obviously, I would give it to the HK, just for having the extra versatility of being hammer fired. Now, if this was the VP series, I'd probably end up giving it to Taurus, just for being cheaper. But I have to actually get more experience with the VP series. I do plan on getting one of those, so you might see another one of these videos where I replace that with a VP9 of some sort. So, hang in tight. But again, for now, the point goes to the HK P30sk. Okay, now we are going to discuss the finish on these pistols. Finish is important to some people. I find it important because better finish equals less maintenance. It's as simple as that. And you'll see, again, this is a situation where it might not be the best comparison on all of them. So we'll just go through it and we'll talk about that a little bit. But I am going to assign a point here. Again, we'll start with Taurus. Taurus has never been known for their finish. As you can see up here, it is kind of shiny, a little sparkly. It's got kind of a rough, so it's good for grip. But you'll see, since I've been carrying this for a couple of weeks, I'm already getting a little bit of rust. And that's the side that rests against my leg. And this finish is very easy to scratch. I think that is where they save a lot of their costs. And again, I'm not well, I shouldn't say again, I'm not trashing on Taurus. You just get yourself some rem oil, or just some oil, and just rub it up there. Every week or so, I just rub it on there, put the rem oil on, wipes off all the rust, and you're fine. A little bit of maintenance, and it's good to go. You don't really have to worry. So I'm not saying that this thing's going to rust over and it's going to look like it's from the 1940s. No, just rub some oil on it. Give it some good maintenance, better than you would any other firearm. Well, by better, I mean actually do it, because I'm kind of lazy and I don't half the time. As you can see on the back there, I'm getting some as well. So I got to wipe this down after the video. But that's a detraction for Taurus. Now, as far as HK, I've been carrying this on and off for 2 years. I don't oil it. I don't wipe it. I don't really clean it that much unless I take it to the range. And as you see, there is no rust. And I'm a righty, so this rests against my side. So all my sweat hits it on here. Right on here. And it still looks like it's brand new. HK always comes out with excellent finishes on their firearms. So that is awesome. Great job to HK. Next up, we have the FN. This is a stainless steel slide. So stainless steel is amazing for carry like that. You won't get as much rust. You won't get as much pitting. Less maintenance. It doesn't scratch that easily. You see, you get a little dirt in there easily, though. Doesn't scratch that easily. It's very easy to take care of for stainless steel. So I do like that. Very, very, very nice. And very comfortable, too. It's very smooth. It's not going to rub or be uncomfortable against your skin. So we'll see what's going on there. I know stainless steel does not stain when I carry it, because I have carried stainless firearms in the past. So, between the three of these, I think you already know which route we're going. We are not giving the point to the Taurus in this case. It's going to go between these two. Now, I know FN, they're blued firearms. The finish is amazing on these two. But only due to my own personal experience, and because I probably shouldn't have done this review yet, I'm going to give the point to HK. 2 years straight of me sweating on that sucker, and it has not rusted at all. Well done, HK. The next category I wanted to go over in this video, which I know it's becoming a little bit long, but bear with me, we're getting there. I believe we are over halfway through, so a little bit longer, and I'll let you guys go. And if you're still sticking with me and enjoying this, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know my voice is annoying. I'm sorry for the blood coming out of your ears. Alright. Without further ado, next up we're going over the sights. The little grooves and bumps on top of these things. Let's talk about these sights, and I'll tell you my opinion on them and which ones I like the most. Following the same format, we're going to start with Taurus. You'll see here you have the 3-dot sight system. They're all relatively same sized. I know my camera's freaking out trying to focus here because I keep moving stuff. But it's really not bad. The only thing I would say, they are normal sized. You do have a dovetailed rear sight here that is adjustable for windage and for elevation. My criticism, though, is it's plastic. You have plastic back here on the sight. What if I drop this thing? I know I should never drop a firearm, but things happen. What if I drop this? I could snap the sight off. Then what am I going to do? Same goes for the front. It's not dovetailed, it's screwed in, and it's plastic. It's the only thing I don't like about these sights. Other than that, they're pretty comfortable. I have shot this very accurately, but I do not like plastic sights. I just feel like it's a Nerf gun and I'm going to break them off. On to HK. HK sights, these are the standard that come with the P30 Sk. They are luminescent, so at night they glow in the dark. You'll see the little glow in the dark paint there, and it is very bright. They are metal, so that's nice. They're dovetailed in. They are not adjustable for windage and elevation unless you scoot the sucker back and forth, but I wouldn't suggest that. The front sight, same thing, dovetailed in, is not adjustable. They really are. But it is also metal. With these being loose, these are not Trigicon, these are not night sights. These are glow-in-the-dark sights. They literally just use glow-in-the-dark paint, which you can see that one up front's trying to glow a bit. But these have to actually charge in the sunlight for a while in order for them to glow. Now, once they have charged, and then you take them out at night, yeah, they're actually really good. They're very visible. The only problem is, if you're carrying these for any length of time at night, that paint's going to lose its charge. But it is very noticeable. You see even from this angle, they pop. Like, those sights really pop, especially compared to the white ones. Something about that little bit of glow-in-the-dark paint really makes these pop. And of course you can buy different sights for all of those. Next up, FNS 9C. You see you get here a nice high and raised rear sight. You have some grooves back there to break it up. Very good dots on it. It is metal, dovetailed in. It is not adjustable for height or windage, or elevation or windage, I should say. Front sight slides right in, dovetail. Nice big metal sight, just like the rear one. And one of the nice things about FN is that front sight is very oversized. So when you look it down there, even through here, the other ones you're having trouble seeing, that is gorgeous. Look at that. It is so easy to get that sight picture and that little groove put into these sights. That is just nice. I really can't complain about that with the sights on this thing. So, the hard choice on this will be, we know that the Taurus, I'm not happy with those sights. So if we take the HK and the FN and put them side by side, let's take a look at those sights together. First the HK, see, it shows up pretty good. Then the FN, that's really nice. It's a hard choice between the two of them. But the HK, being glow in the dark, has a little bit of a heads up on this one. But this one, they're oversized sights, they're easy to see. So as far as the sights, I think I would have to give it to FN for just having a much better shaped rear sight picture. You have that nice kind of V cut in there. The nice oversized front sight that comes with it. Now mind you, this I'm just going over what comes from factory. If I was counting the fiber optic sights I purchased for that, the HK would have won. But FN wins this one for having really nice oversized front sights, nice back sights with the ridges on them. Very nice and easy to get that sight picture. Even in the glare, you could still see that front sight beautifully. FN takes it on this one. Alright, in this portion of the video, I want to go over the takedown process for all three of these firearms. As many of you know, I'm very particular when it comes to takedown. It has to be easy. I don't like using tools. It needs to be something I can strip in the field if need be, to take it apart, service it, clean it, make sure it's good to go. So anything that's awkward, counterintuitive, things like that, I'm probably not going to like. But let's hop in. We'll show you how they all work. We're going to start with the Taurus, like before. This actually disassembles much like a Glock. So what you're going to do is you put the palm here, rotate your hands up over the top, pull this back slightly. See how I'm pulling that? Pull down on this little tab. It's on both sides. So you're going to grab it like this, then grab it like this. Pull down on that front tab, pull that back a little bit, nudge it forward, pull the trigger, off it comes. Free, easy peasy. Then goes right back together, just like a Glock. So after a little bit of practice, you get the hang of that. It's a little counterintuitive because your hands got to go all over the place, but you can do it, no tools and no real frustration. Next up, HK P30 Sk. So it's going to be very similar. You are going to pull this back all the way. Now, you'll see these grooves. You're going to want to pull this groove all the way back to here. And there's a little button on this side. You're going to push that through when you pull that groove over. So, you grab it. You pull that down. Push the groove. See how that moved? After that, you're going to grab this little piece here and pull it out. See how it's red? That lets you know it's free. Let it go. Slide comes right off. I like that they put that red paint there to kind of give you a heads up. Reverse process to put it back together. Make sure when you put this back together you push down a little bit on the back or else it's going to hang up. It's a little bit awkward the first couple times you do it. So you're going to pull that back, push that back in, let go, you're good to go. Back in business. No problems. Alright, now the FNS 9C is a little bit different. You're going to pull the slide back, put the slide lock in. So you just pull that back, lock this up, lock the slide. All you do, you rotate that little bugger there down. See how it's rotated around in a circle there? That's so this little piece can be rotated. After that, you're going to release the slide. And you're going to pull it forward, or pull it off, I'm sorry. There we go. You have to pull the trigger all the way down. So, then you're going to pull that back on, hook that back on, good to go. We'll do it one more time. Lock that slide up, rotate that down. Oh. Just like that. Just when you're pulling it back, I'll show you on here. I'm trying to beat up the camera this time. You go around. Helps to hold the trigger down. Release that, let go. Pull the trigger where you hear it strike. There you go, it comes right off. Reverse process, back on. Good to go, no problems there. You see the safety doesn't activate unless it's actually cocked. Interesting, huh? Alright, so now as far as the three of these go, the Glock style takedown, as I call it, I know there's a better name for it, but that's just what I know it as. Once you know how to do it, you're good on pretty much any firearm that has that style. Easy peasy, get your hands on a little funky, like you're throwing up gang signs, but you'll get it out of there. So that's the gang sign takedown, we're going to call that. As far as the HK, we're going to call that the multiple step takedown, because you have to pull it all the way back this way, push that out, and then after you push that little button out, then you have to throw up the gang signs and pull it out. So that's going to take multiple steps to take that down. But again, you don't need tools. It's easy to do. As far as the FN, you could technically do this with one hand if you were savvy enough. My hands are big and clumsy, so I don't. Because you just lock it back. Then all you really have to do is just rotate that down. Oh, look, I can kind of do that with one hand. Easy peasy. It's kind of like a Beretta. So that's the easy takedown. So, between the three of these, you've got the Glock gang sign, you've got the 2 to 3 step process, you've got the easy one that just comes off, you can do it with one hand. Obviously, we're going to give this to the FNS 9C for the takedown being a bit easier than the other three. Alright, next up, we're going to go over the trigger pull on all three of these and let you know who's going to get the points, who's going to win, who's going to lose, so on and so forth. Alright, same pattern, Taurus first. Alright, trigger pull. Now, I do have a little criticism on this, because if your finger does not rest on that safety fully, it feels like a staged trigger. So just make sure you're fully on there before you do it. But if you listen, sounds like it came out there, but you got to come out all the way here. Now, if we do that, cock it, and listen. After it's shot, that is a really, really light trigger pull on that single action. Well, what is technically single action, sort of, after it charges. So double action, out to there, single action, right there. Nice single action pull. For the HK, it is hammer fired, so it's much heavier. Much, much, much heavier. But, see the reset? Right there. Nice reset. Single action. A lot of take up. What you'd expect from a double action, single action hammer fired pistol. Again, we'll listen. See how it kind of tricked you a little? Right there's the reset. Now if you charge it, I would almost say Taurus's single action is a little bit shorter. Interesting. On to the FN. I don't like the fact that there's no double strike, but we're not reviewing that here. We're simply reviewing trigger pull. So you'll see how it's a little wiggly there. All right. Really light trigger, and you don't even have to go all the way back. Listen. There's your reset. There's nothing to that reset, and that is an extremely light trigger pull. We'll do it again. Listen to that. Very, very light trigger pull. So out of the three of them, Taurus has a pretty nice one, but that blade safety on there makes it a bit awkward. The single action is really nice on the Taurus. Typical hammer-fired pistol, it's a little heavier than you'd expect. Single action's pretty nice, but there is a little bit more take-up in there. But the FN definitely takes the point here. That trigger pull is smooth, it's nice, it's short, it's crisp. I love it. Last up on these, I wanted to go over the warranties. I did some research online trying to figure out the warranties on these. Now one of them, you probably know the warranty right off the bat because that's one of their big selling factors. But we'll go through it and I'll explain what I found out. Now, from what I've heard, some of these have good customer service, some do not. So that's going to be a factor here. Alright, so starting off with the Taurus. These have a lifetime warranty on them for the life of the firearm. And it transfers owners. So if I sell this to you, you still have a lifetime warranty on this pistol. You just contact Taurus, you let them know. They will either fix it or replace it. That is nice. And from what I've heard, Taurus's customer service is 100% better than it used to be back in the day. I know everybody says Taurus has a stigma with it, yada yada, I get it. These days, though, I've heard nothing but good things about Taurus's customer service, and they get the firearm back to you quick. That's a great thing. Not many firearm companies have that. Next up, we have the HK. For pretty much what they say, if you take care of the firearm, they will take care of you. They have a limited lifetime warranty on their firearms, including this one, that as long as it's not ammunition caused, your fault, or any fault other than the defect of the firearm, they will take care of you. Now, the only thing I have heard, though, is HK's customer service is atrocious. They are hard to get a hold of. They don't want to work with people. It's just difficult. HK has a reputation of that, and it still sticks today. Now, this is all hearsay because I have not had to use any of these warranties because all three of these are very well built firearms. I didn't need to claim the warranty, but we're going over what I've heard, what I've researched, and so on. But again, You take care of the firearm, they will take care of you. And as far as FN goes, from what I've heard and researched, their customer service is very good. It's pretty fast, and they're another one that if they have a limited lifetime warranty, if the firearm is damaged or defective, and it's something that is not ammunition related, it is not the user's fault, they will take care of the customer. They're here for the customer from the reviews that I saw. And as far as it says, the customer service is very good with FN. So that's a really good thing, and it's good to hear. But when we look over all three of these, and we're going just based off the warranty and the information you can find on the warranty as well as reviews, Taurus wins this. It's one of their selling points is their warranty, and they're great about it. They take care of their customers. They make sure their firearms are taken care of as well. Taurus makes a huge quantity of firearms. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, yeah, they have a good warranty on them because they have a lot of defects. Taurus makes more firearms than most any other company out there. So by percentages, you can have 100 Tauruses go wrong that'll make 1,000, and that's 10%. But if you sell only 100 of these, and 10% of these goes wrong, then that's only 10. So it looks like you only get 10 defects and 100 defects, but in all honesty, it's because there's so many more of these, you're going to see more defects. It's just the way it works because they're a budget-friendly company. Again, the point goes to Taurus on this for the warranty. Okay, next up, we are going to go over magazine capacity. This is a big stickler for a lot of people. I'm a little bit like that too. I'm also a revolver guy, so 6 shots is usually good for me. Anything more than that is just cake. But we'll go over it here because with a semi-auto, you expect more than 6 shots. Alright, when you look at Taurus, we're going to start with them. You get 2 of these magazines. They are 12 round capacity apiece. So that's pretty good. You have 12 shots, 2 magazines for a total of 24 shots. Not bad at all. With HK, you get 2 10-round magazines. You can get extenders for the bottom of them, but you do have to pay extra for that. So you get 2 magazines for a total of 20 rounds. That is one of my pet peeves with HK is, come on guys, you can get a little bit more in there, right? Taurus can, I know you can. Alright, moving on, I'll quit complaining. Alright, so with FN, you get 2 12-round magazines. It's a total of 24, plus a 17-round magazine. Normally, let's just take this one out of here and act like we don't have that. So you have 2 of these 12-round magazines, and then you have Taurus, which has 2 12-round magazines, and then you have HK, which only has 2 10-round magazines. So that's 24, 24, and 20. As you can see, HK is already beat out here. Their capacity is nowhere near the other ones. Now between Taurus and FN, you have 24 rounds apiece, but the fact that FN includes an extra magazine, and it's an extended magazine, so you get a whole 3rd magazine at 17 extra rounds. That's for a total of 41 rounds. Double check my math. 24 plus 17 equals 41 rounds. So factory in the box, you have a capacity of 41 rounds, 24 rounds, 20 rounds. The obvious winner in this category is FN. Now we're going to go through some information on each one of these, just to kind of, before we total up everything, give you a little bit extra info on the firearms in case you're interested in purchasing any of these. This one, we are going to start with the Taurus, with the G2c model. As you can see, you can get it with the safety. This is a compact frame size. You do get 12 round capacity, which is very nice. You do get the single action with the restrike capabilities. It is a 9mm. The height is 5.10 inches. The width is 1.2 inches. The weight is 22 ounces unloaded. The barrel length is 3.2 inches. Overall length from front to back is 6.3 inches. You have the adjustable rear sight, fixed front sight, and you have your safety here. The MSRP on these is $316 and change. Again, you can get these for $200. Don't pay more than that. Next up on the list, we're going to go over the HK P30sk. It's in 9mm. The length is 6.42 inches. The height is 4.57 inches. The width is 1.37 inches. And the barrel length is 3.27 inches. Unloaded, this weighs 23.99 ounces. And the magazine capacity, you can get it in multiples, but this one comes with 10-round magazines. Now on to the FN. For the stats on the FN, this comes in 9mm. All three of these are 9mm. This is double action only, striker fired. Magazine capacity comes in 10, 12, or 17 rounders. This one came with 2 12 and 1 17 rounder. The weight is 23.4 ounces, so not too bad. Barrel length is 3.6 inches. Sights are the fixed 3-dot sights. Overall length from back to front, 6.7 inches. You do have a 1 in 10 right-handed twist rate in the barrel. The height from bottom to top is 5.2 inches. Width is 1.35 inches. This says on here, because I am reading off their websites for all this information, the trigger pull is anywhere from 5.5 to 7.7 pounds. From my experience, it's probably even less than that. Your sight radius on this is 5.6 inches. So, we're going to go ahead and tally up the totals and let you know where everything's at. Alright, so we've tallied up the numbers, and we have a very distinct winner. So, coming in third place is Taurus with 2 points. Taurus won out on the warranty and the overall price for only being $200. So Taurus was a nice contender here. Of course, it is difficult to compete with firearms that are double the price, but this is in no way a dig on Taurus. I think everyone should own one of these because they're great firearms. But third place is Taurus. Second place is HK. They won out in Ergonomics, the double strike since it's hammer fired, as well as their finish being so good. That's from my own personal experience. Again, it's not a dig on HK. I love HK. I own several of these, well, several HK firearms. I've always wanted a Mark 23. You'll never hear me hate on HK. But just in this case, for just this comparison video, HK came in second with 3 points. And the distinct winner for this video is the FNS 9C. Came in better packaging, you get a better value overall. The sights are great. Disassembly is easier, the trigger is nice, and you get the most magazine capacity out of all three firearms. Just the overall value that FN gives with their firearms. And this isn't just for the FNS 9C. It can go for the FNX 45, the 40, the 9, the FN 509, the FNX 45 Tactical. I might have some experience with one of those. FN gives you a lot more with your firearms, a really great firearm, and more bang for your buck. This is why I love FN so much. I think I might like him a little bit more than HK overall, but I don't know. I still love HK. And Taurus is one of my favorite firearms companies too, so this was a hard video for me. But I'm trying to go strictly off the facts here, based off my own personal informational facts and my own brain that doesn't always work right. But what do everybody else there think? I'm sure I just pissed off a lot of people. I might have made some people happy. I might have surprised some people. Who knows? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments section. What's your opinion on these? What do you think on them? Do you think someone else should have won? Someone else should have had different categories in the bucket? Let me know. But we're going to go on to the Gun Owners of America. Sign up. Take a look at these guys. Check out their website. They're one of the few companies out there or I should say organizations, that is actually fighting for your Second Amendment rights. They're worth a look into. They are a great company to support because they support you. But that's all I have for today. I hope everyone loved the video. Let me know if there's any other comparisons you'd like to see. And I hope you have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. And we will talk to you again next time. But until then, have a great one. Bye-bye.